G'day. Oh, that was terrible. I'm sorry. Hi. Welcome to this week's poker update with me and, of course, my trusty railbird Rakoon. As you know, the Aussie Millions are on at the moment, and so are these challenges in the PokerStars lobby that you can complete, and then you get a free ticket to one of those shootouts. And the little tasks you have to do will vary between you have to play a ring cash game or play a little sit and go. So the other day, I played a sit and go as I usually do, and then I get an email the next day saying, "Congratulations, you have completed today's challenge, and here is your free ticket." So that was fun. Free money is always good. So today I wanted to talk to you about something else that was interesting. My little brother is studying med at the moment, and he's actually quite smart, but we won't tell him that. Anyway, I was asking him, what are some really good foods for concentration and focus? Because if you're playing poker, regardless whether or not it's online or at a table, you require concentration, especially if you're sitting there for long periods of time. I know for me, I get quite fidgety. I can't sit still. And so I think certain foods will bring out your performance a lot better. So I did some research on the internet. Now, first I'll go through some good foods for you, and then I'll go through some other interesting pieces of information to do with amphetamines. And amphetamines, the definition of it actually means stimulants that work the mind. So amphetamines are drugs, but there are specific type of drugs that work as stimulants. So let's start with the foods that are good for you and good for concentration. Blueberries, they're full of antioxidants and they're also quite yummy. So if you can get your hands on fresh ones, that's great. Otherwise, frozen ones will do really nicely as well. Green tea, that is definitely a staple in my diet. I love green tea. I have about 4 bags a day. Maybe that's why I'm so hyper. I know people are concerned about the caffeine, but caffeine, I think in moderation is not too bad, and so long as you don't overdose on it or become reliant on it, then I think it's okay. Avocados, they've got good healthy fats, and that's the same as fish. So something like salmon, mackerel, trout, well, any fish is good. Leafy green vegetables, like we didn't know that one, that's just good for everything. I think spinach is a very good staple if you're after one particular vegetable to eat all the time. That's one of my favorites. Now, surprisingly, dark chocolate as well. So for those of you who have a sweet tooth, that's a bonus. And the last one would be nuts. Now, I'll add a few links of the research that I found so you guys can have a look through it as well. Just a word of caution about nuts. If you're anything like me and lack self-control, or actually more like this guy who lacks self-control, having nuts is so dangerous. If you just have one of those big packets there, because if you buy in bulk, it's cheaper, right? So you just get the whole packet and you leave it there. But it's actually not cheaper if you eat the whole thing, and not good for your health. And so one thing that I have to do is I have to individually package them and just kind of hide them around the house, so I won't just go brainless eating. So nuts, they're really good for you, but in moderation, because they're quite addictive and you can go overboard. I wanted to talk to you today about amphetamine. In particular, this one called modafinil. Modafinil. Now, modafinil, my brother tells me this, and I had a look on the internet as well. It doesn't have any side effects. It's one of the very rare amphetamines that doesn't do damage to you if you take it. And what it does, it is enhances performance, focus, memory, concentration. And what it's used for is to treat children with ADHD. Now, isn't that amazing and rare? A drug, an amphetamine, that doesn't have serious side effects, or hardly any. Wow. Can I have some? Okay, that was a bit lame. I've been cooking a lot. I've been making these good salads with chicken and lots of greens and vermicelli, rice, brown rice. So I also went through a list of stuff with my brother of generally the types of food groups that are good for concentration and focus. And so these generally included your standard whole grains, brown rice, oats, bran, that kind of stuff. Anything with low GI. And the other thing that was really interesting, which for some reason I was always under the impression protein, go for protein, less carbs, but perhaps that's because of this whole fad with diets and eating healthy. No one actually says, eat lots of carbs. So anyway, that's wrong. Carbs are actually really important because carbs are what you use for your brain. So your body actually uses up the carbohydrate energy. So if you are playing poker or doing anything for long periods of time and you need the energy, then you need carbs. Not so much sugars, because sugars, you'll have a sugar spike and then you drop back down, and that's not so good. So ideally, that's why you want the whole grain bread, the brown rice, that kind of thing. So carbs are really important if you need to concentrate for a long period and keep your blood sugar level at an even rate. Now my bankroll for this week, I'm quite excited about it. It's gone back up to $457, which is $3 less from its highest point at $460. Now, yesterday I was playing quite a few tournaments actually. What I found was the $2.50 tournaments really are easier than the $1.50 tournaments for some reason. So I realized my classic games are 90-man tournaments, ideally $2.50 more so than the $1.50s, because the $1.50 is also a knockout, so there's a lot more luck involved, I think. Anyway, $2.50, I like it because first prize, because the buy-in is higher, first prize is also greater. So first prize for the 90-man $2.50 tournament is $56. Second prize, I think, is $38. So yesterday I came first and second, and I think seventh, but who cares about seventh? Okay, that's it for me this week. I think I will be playing some poker tonight, and perhaps in the next week or so at the Aussie Millions, I might give it a shot at the tables. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Good luck with poker and life and whatever you're doing, and eating as well. Bye. Okay, let's go find Rakoon now. Rakoon. Where could you be?